Okay, how's everyone doing today? It's been really good here. Um, we're getting some great weather. It gets a little chilly, it gets very hot, but overall it's very beautiful. Um, we can see some great, beautiful flowers around us, and it just makes us happy because with so much going on in the world, I think those flowers can really bring some joy um, to all of us, right? Okay, um, so let people join in and we can start. So, I know the whole topic for today discussion is seven powerful tips to paint daily. But before we get into those tips and how we can do that, I wanted to share that I paint every day and I don't skip even a single day. And some days are good, some days are productive, some are not very good. But painting for me has become like brushing my teeth. I don't miss it no matter what. And this was not the case before, and I'll tell you how. But before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Megha Mehra. I'm a professional watercolor artist. I paint, I exhibit, I teach, and today we're going to talk about not just tips. I'm going to also share a lot of things, how I started painting, and I'm going to also mention about my upcoming watercolor portrait session that's starting on June 29th. Uh, at the end of this session, I'm also going to leave a link uh, about these tips so that you can follow later and you can get back to me if you have any questions. So, how did I get into painting? Well, the way I got into watercolors was when I was pregnant or was about to be a mom. I once read a book that if you do something creative, your baby connects with that creative energy. And I thought, wow, how cool is that? And maybe I should try something. And I kept thinking, what should I do? What should I do to bring some creative energy to my baby? And I thought, okay, I haven't painted in many years, and I used to paint during my school days, but not much. But I did enjoy art, so I thought, why not start painting? And I didn't want to get into acrylics and oils because of the mess and the other chemicals that are there in those paints. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll start with watercolors. And I took up a small workshop and I started into watercolors. And I absolutely fell with that medium because sometimes that medium was frustrating, but it brought so much surprise and energy towards my painting that I really enjoyed that session. So someone is here, hi, and I really enjoyed painting in watercolors. So and I thought I'm going to always continue to paint. And guess what? I had my son, and I had no time. I was a full-time mom, and I did not touch my paint for over 5 years. And son, um, when my son went back to school, I realized now I have a couple of hours. I just had like 2 or 3 hours, and I thought, what should I do? And I thought, so why not I bring my paints out? And I started painting. But my paintings were still not very good. I would paint for like a day or two and then forget about it for weeks. And each time, that intimidating feeling of facing that white sheet of paper was big and huge. And I would get frustrated, my work was sluggish, and I would just be demotivated. And I just couldn't understand why is my work so bad and how come I'm not getting better at my work and why I don't enjoy this medium anymore. And I I just left it there, and I always wondered how are these masters, these amazing painters, how do they achieve such great paintings? And I just didn't have any answer. And one day, I think I was browsing through the library for some books for my son, and I found this book, and it's called Power of Habits. And not much of a reader, but I was just so intrigued by the um, title that I grabbed the copy home and I read it, and I discovered that to do something, to get better at something, you have to be consistent, and that consistency comes by changing your habits. That's when I realized that without, that's when I realized that instead of beating myself each time again and again, why don't I change my habits? Because changing your behavior is not easy, but changing your habits is possible. So I started, it brought a little bit of clarity towards me, and I started painting consistently. And in the beginning, I started with just 5 or 10 minutes, and since then, I have painted every day. I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to get better at this, and I'm going to paint every day, and I continued. So you can already see the work I do, and that has not happened in just like a jiffy, or I was not born this way. I really worked hard for it, and I really painted, and I really nurtured my skill by painting every day. And in the beginning, it was not easy. I really had to put a lot of willpower, but slowly it became a habit, because you only have this much willpower and you cannot put into just one task. So that was one thing that really changed my life when it come to painting. And I'm going to share you a few tips how you can also uh, take these habits and be consistent in your work. And the first tip is, I know everybody is thinking like, when do we paint? We don't have time. I know it's such a busy life for everyone. Even now, with everyone being at home, people don't have time. And it's the same with me. We don't have a schedule. And as human beings, we thrive on schedule, not just kids, even adults. We don't have a schedule. We're just wandering around, moping around the house that what do we do? What do we do? So keeping a routine is very important. And for me, the way routine works is when I wake up, the first thing I do is paint. I don't check my emails or something. Sometimes I do if it's important, but I mostly try not to check my emails. I get into painting, and so that thing is off my list. And I've painted. Um, I've done my bit today. I see a lot of questions coming. I'll just take a look at it and go on to the next one. Um, so yeah, thank you so much. Hobbies, I will tell you my hobbies. My health is good. Thank you so much. I appreciate your concern. And um, I have many other hobbies like cooking and everything, but I'll come back to that later. But we'll stick to the topic here. And talking about the routine, I realized that when not just in the morning, for some people the night times work better, and sometimes even I paint in night when it's all quiet, everybody is in bed, and I have my own sweet time to paint and there are no distractions. So see what works for you, but you got to make sure that you stick to a routine, even if it's for 10 minutes. It's possible. If you love something and you want to do it, 10 minutes is definitely doable. So try that. The next thing is, uh, what do you paint? I know we all, I get this a lot, and everybody tells me that, what do we paint? I mean, I don't get ideas. I don't think there is any scarcity of ideas in this world. Go dig your spaces. There is so much to paint. Go dig your refrigerators, pick your fruits, pick your veggies. Go check what's in your backyard. Go check your garden. Magazine articles, pictures, old photos. I mean, we all have amazing cameras these days, but we hardly go and see them. So why not pick one of them, crop them, edit them, and get started with the painting? That's one of the ways. You can also pick one subject, painting in different styles, change the mood, change the colors, change the lightings. There is so much you can experiment. So yes, sometimes when I get bored of the stuff in my house, what I do is I go to my neighbor's house, collect some stuff, and then start painting what they have. So yes, it is a great way to meet your neighbors as well and get painting. So that's one thing you can try. And this way, you will also get fresh ideas each day, and you won't be stuck in a rut, because sometimes you get, you know, get into painting. If you're painting florals, then just paint florals, florals, florals. So try something new, and then you'll see you'll have so much to do that you won't have time to paint. The next tip I want to go over is how to create your trigger zones. You know, like they say, out of sight, out of mind. And I am one of that person that if I don't see something in front of my eyes, because I'm a very visual person. When I want to learn something, I want to see how it's done. You know, it's just not enough that I listen to the instructions. I really want to see. So anything that's out of my sight is out of my mind. So what I started doing was I started creating the small corners and nooks um, around my house where I would keep my paints or charcoals or pencils, so that whenever I see, it reminds me that, hey, I got to paint. One great trick that really worked for me when I was trying to have this consistency habit was I put a tape on my toothbrush, and it mentioned, have you painted today? Now, like I said, I brush at least 2 times a day. So I would get 2 reminders every day that, you know, have you painted today? One in the morning and one in the evening. And I cannot go to bed without brushing my teeth, and I cannot go to bed without painting. So that was a great reminder. And if I was really, really sleepy, I would just paint for 5 minutes, but I made sure that I would not miss a day. So that is one great way how you create your small cue or trigger zones. You can put sticky notes, you can put anything on your mirror or something, and it really works well when you know, keep these little reminders of that you got to paint or got to do your creative work today. And that was one thing that helped. The next thing was, oh, I see a lot of people joining. Hey, everyone. Hey. So how do you maintain consistency? I know such a big, important thing that we always lose track on it. And I'm also the same. I'm human. I miss my days sometimes, but um, overall, I've been doing good with this habit. So what I really thought was important was to stick to small commitments in the beginning. Smaller commitments are easier to do than thinking that today I'm going to paint one big, large painting and I'm trying to finish everything. It's not going to work. You need a lot of willpower, time, and everything to bring all your ideas together on your painting paper or your canvas. So it's very important to keep very small commitments that you know you can fulfill. You know yourself how much you can do in a day with a full-time job, with kids in the house, with other things to take care. So stick with small commitments. Commitments. One important thing I really want to mention is I started following these small Pomodoro techniques, which is basically how to manage time. And the way this works is you set a timer, you set a Pomodoro for 20, 25 minutes, shut off your Wi-Fi, shut off everything around you, all the distractions, shut off your door, and then get back to your work. It works. You will take at least 5 to 7 minutes just to get into the zone of your painting or zone of your creative work, and then you will forget about other things. It takes time, and but it's possible to do. So I started following this. You finish that 20, 25 minutes, and then take a few minutes break if you want to paint more, and then repeat. I started with a very 3-day habit, then I moved on to 5 days, then I moved on to 7 days, and then eventually 14, 21 days, 1 month, 6 months. It's been 2 years now. I haven't missed a day. So I think it has worked. So yes, it really helps me track small things. Every time I want to change something new, I try this habit. There is one more app that is very helpful, I found. Uh, I just want to remind you that I'm not promoting any of these apps or any books. It's just something that I wanted to share that helps me, and hopefully it will help you all. So you can try these, but I'm not promoting anything here. And there is an app called Forest. It's the same as the Pomodoro technique. You plant a tree. You plant a tree for 10 minutes or you plant a tree for 20 minutes. You get back to work and you don't touch your screen. And the minute you finish your timer or everything, it says that you planted the tree. The best part about this app, what I like is you get credits for planting a tree or credit for being into the zone of your creative work to do your task. And every time you get credit, they actually plant real trees in the world. So I think this is a great way to contribute towards the environment while you are doing your work. And I really use this app a lot. And every time I get, you've planted so many trees, it really makes me happy. So I think it's good for environment too. So try that app. The next one is, yeah, uh, save your work and how you can start your journal. When I started painting initially, I didn't have very big blocks of paper or something. I had very small sheets and I would always paint them and save them. So it's very important that if you're doing small, you start saving your work so that you can go back and refer to your progress. I have never thrown away my work. I still have my work that I painted my first class when I started in watercolors, because it helps me see that how far I have come. There is just no point tearing away those sheets and throwing away, because yeah, you got to save them. And having the journal was really helpful because it was very low maintenance. It was it's like a very slow stress commitment, and it uh, it really helped me uh, in in maintaining my procrastination, because when I saw that small journal, I knew I would work on it for a few minutes, and then I'll be done. So the pressure was low, and the best part was I could be myself in that journal. I could break rules, I could make rules, I could be bold, I could be loose, I could be tight. I could do so much with it without worrying who is looking at this painting. Nobody is judging. It's just me. And I really love those small journals that I could maintain. I have so many of them because it's just so easy that you can just pull out your journal and start painting or start sketching or anything you like. So that really helped me. But definitely start with a journal. I also write in those things. So, it's very creative. The next tip that I want to share is to join a tribe or to form your own tribe. Yes, I know, especially during these times, it's so important to be a part of a community or to be a part of like minded people with whom you get support and you give support. You also give feedback, receive feedback. You can get better at your work, you get constructive feedback. It's very important that you hang out with the similar like minded people, because I have seen that the more I hang out with artists or the more I hang out with like minded people, my work gets better and better. And that energy that comes out of being in a tribe, that energy that comes out of sharing each other's work or celebrating each other's work is amplifying. It's just amazing when you see each other grow, and it's just amazing that what a small group of community of people can do to your work. So definitely join some tribe, some group. I also have my own group. It's Watercolors with Megha, and we paint a lot on that group. And I started this during this pandemic because I was just missing painting with people, and I was just missing that the communal feeling that you get or the bonding of art that you have with people. So anybody can join that group, Watercolors with Megha, and we share tips, we support each other, and we have challenges. We have so many things going on. So definitely join whatever group or tribe feels good to you, and you'll see that it feels so good. The last one is I really think is the most important thing. Whatever you're doing, whether it's painting or whether it's starting a new habit, anything, or you're trying to be consistent, is to be kind to yourself and reward yourself. I cannot stress upon this because when I started, I would get so frustrated with myself and saying that I'm not good, I'm not doing this as the way I should um, do it, or I have really huge expectations from myself. None of that helps. So it's very important that you have to understand you're human, life gets in the way, you're going to miss a day or two, and if you lose the momentum, get back to it and start again. It's okay. It's just a painting, it's just a habit, and the world is not falling apart. So definitely shower some kindness on yourself. Get back to your routine whenever you feel you can get back. And because I realized that nothing good comes out of a bad attitude. And with that bad attitude, I couldn't paint well. So I had to let go of all of those negative emotions that I had gathered by not able to follow a habit or a consistency habit that I was trying to form. And I saw that that letting go really helped me. And slowly I started rewarding myself when I could, when, like, for example, when I started this habit, when I followed this for 6 months or 3 months, I treated myself with lots of paints, lots of new tools, more paper, more art stuff. And yes, after some time, even those materialistic things didn't matter because I was just so satisfied with my work. My work was really seen through, people appreciated it, and I got so much support from everybody, online, offline, and all of you, that I just wanted to do more work. And I just thought that this is all I wanted had to do. Just keep doing your work consistently, keep performing, right? That's all you need. So slowly my passion really amplified, and I started doing better with my work. And I think this is how you get better at your work, and this is how you reignite your passion by just giving small commitments, changing small things in your life. And this way, your whole life is not disturbed, because I know everybody has so much going on that you cannot really go like a 180-degree turn and completely disrupt your life. Like, I'm going to paint 4 hours each day. It's not going to happen. So this is what I would suggest, that try to follow these tips, and you'll see how much your work will improve. I want to leave with this one advice, that, or the one thing that I get from all the artists, no matter how good they are, great they are, is to keep your brushes wet and to keep painting every day, no matter what. Doesn't matter your work is good. Doesn't matter your work is being appreciated. Just keep painting, and you will see that the satisfaction from inside is sufficient, and that's all that matters. And if if you want more help from me, more tips, let me know. And if you want to improve your skills, if you want more support, then I'll be happy to share whatever I know. And if you want to learn more about my work, you can go to my website, meghamehra.com. You can also, if you're interested in painting more, or if you are a watercolor enthusiastic, doesn't matter what level you are, whether you're at the beginner level or whether you're intermediate or advanced level, or maybe you have someday dreamt that I want to, you know, try watercolors, but I don't know how to go about it, then I also take classes, and we are starting a new portrait workshop, 5 weeks of astounding watercolor portraits workshop. And believe me, this workshop is so valuable, because not only are we going to learn how to paint portraits, how to approach them, we also have a community group. A lot of students have already registered, and we're going to really see that what really matters when you're painting, and how you really can improve your work by changing a few mind shifts in your mind. And it's just not the skills, it's also about how you feel inside. So I'll also leave a link about my workshop if you want to register. And I'll also leave a link about these tips in the comment section, so that you can take a look. And I hope, at least some of you will be able to follow these tips, And if you start this daily painting challenge or habit, then tag me in my Instagram. My Instagram ID is Boku by Megha, and I'll mention that too. Or make a new. I was about to start a new hashtag, painting with friends, and whatever it is, just paint every day. Share your work. I'll be happy to see your work because that's all matters, when you can really nudge a little bit with anything you share. That's all that matters. So thank you so much, everyone, joining for joining with me. I really enjoyed this session, and keep painting, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.